Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. This is Rekha Venkateshwarlu, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. In the present class, now I am going to discuss the topic self-induction and mutual induction. This is BSc Physics 5th semester, Electromagnetic Theory paper, 3rd unit syllabus. In the present lecture, my plan of talk is first introduction, after that self-induction and its explanation, then after mutual induction, its explanation, distinction between self-induction and mutual induction, after that mutual inductance of two coils, lastly coefficient of magnetic coupling and summary. Yes, we discussed in the last class that what is electromagnetic induction. When the varying current is flowing through the coil or inductor, then EMF will be induced in that coil, right? That phenomenon is called as electromagnetic induction. So this was invented by the Faraday, and Faraday proposed two laws. EMF induces in a closed circuit or loop, a closed loop due to the changing of current in that coil. Okay, the induced EMF E equal to the negative rate of change of magnetic flux equal minus a d phi by dt. So all these things we discussed in detail in the last class. Now, in the present class, let us start our discussion with the self-induction. Self-induction is the property of the coil which opposes the growth of growth or decay of the current in it. Okay, so this is just like a inertia of electricity as we talk in inertia property in the mechanics. Okay, the property of the coil which opposes the growth or decay of the current is called as self-induction. So now to explain this, let us consider this figure. Here a coil is connected to the battery via key. This is the tap key, right? When the tap key is closed, then current starts to increase in this coil. Here, whenever the tap key is closed, it is pressed, current starts in this direction from positive terminal to negative terminal, from left to right in this direction. Okay. So here current starts to increase in this coil. That due to that increasing magnetic flux links with the coil. So that changing magnetic flux, the increasing magnetic flux with the time, that is intersects the coil itself. That induces the current in the coil. That in EMF is called as induced EMF, and the current is known as induced current. According to Lenz's law, the direction of induced EMF or induced current that opposes the growth of current in the coil. So when the tap key is closed, then the current starts to increase from 0 to maximum value. So then due to the induced current that is set up in the coil that opposes the growth of current. Okay, right. So all these things I explained here, right? Similarly, when the key is closed in this circuit, when the key is closed, then current starts to decrease from maximum value to 0. Current suddenly doesn't stop to 0 value. Okay, right. In that case also, according to Lenz's law, since the decreasing magnetic flux is linking with this coil, here also the changing magnetic flux is linking with the coil. Therefore, EMF induces. In that case also, it opposes the decay of current in the coil. It opposes the decay of current in the coil, and that delays the current to acquire the minimum value. Okay, so all these things explanation is shown in this slide. This is written for the purpose of notes. Yes. So let us consider a coil which is carrying the current I and having the number of turns capital N, right? Then the magnetic flux linked with one linked with the coil is found to be proportional to the strength of the current. N phi directly proportional to I, N phi equal to constant L into I, where L is constant, proportionality constant, that is called as coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance. Okay, so the flux linked with one turn is phi. Since the coil having the n number of turns, the total flux linked with that coil is n phi. That flux is directly proportional to amount of current flowing through that coil. N phi directly proportional to I, N phi equal to L into I. Here L is the proportionality constant, that is called as coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance. In this expression, if I is equal to 1 ampere, right, then N phi equal to L. So with this, we can define the coefficient of self-induction. So how, when 1 ampere of current is flowing through the coil or inductor, then the magnetic flux linked with that coil is called as coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance of that coil. Okay. But according to Faraday's law, we have the expression that the induced EMF equal to the negative rate of change of magnetic flux minus d by dt of magnetic flux. Here the coil is having the n number of turns. The flux linked with the coil is n phi. So that I am writing here minus d by dt of flux is n phi equal to minus d by dt of, but n phi equal to, we have written L into I. Okay, since L is constant, okay, so that is written outside equal minus L di by dt. So this is coefficient of self-induction. From this expression also we will define the self-inductance. How? If di by dt equal to 1 ampere per second, then E equal to minus L, magnitude of E equal to L, of course. So if the rate of change of current, if the rate of change of current or if the decay of current in the coil is 1 ampere per second, then the EMF induced in that coil is said to be coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance of that coil, right? So I am defining that. How, if the induced EMF, in the coil, when the rate of decrease of current is unity or 1 ampere per second, that is called as coefficient of self-induction. The coefficient of self-induction unit is Henry. It is named on the scientist Henry, right? We can define the Henry also. If the induced EMF is 1 volt, when the rate of decrease of current is 1 ampere per second in the coil or unity, then the coefficient of that coil is said to be 1 Henry. Okay. Now the next concept is mutual induction, right? So this is the phenomenon of producing induced EMF in the coil due to the flow of current changing with the time in a nearby coil. Okay. It is the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in a coil due to the flow of current changing with the time in a nearby coil, right? You consider the two coils and you change the current in one coil, then due to the change of that current, EMF can be produced in the secondary coil. That phenomenon is called as mutual induction. So let us discuss about this concept. You consider the diagram here. So this is the primary coil. It is connected to the battery through a tap kit, right? So nearby a secondary coil is placed that is connected to the galvanometer, right? When the tap key is closed, here the circuit is closed, then current starts to increase in this primary circuit. So then whenever the current is increasing this primary circuit from 0 to maximum value, the magnetic flux forming around the primary coil also increases. That increasing magnetic flux is linked with this secondary coil. So due to the changing of magnetic flux linking with the secondary coil, according to the phenomenon of electromagnetic induction found by Faraday, the EMF induces in this secondary coil. Hence, we observe the deflection in the galvanometer, right? So with increasing of magnetic flux in the primary coil with the time, that increasing magnetic flux or flux density is intersecting the secondary coil. Therefore, we are getting the induced EMF in the secondary coil that constitutes induced current. Hence, the galvanometer deflects in the secondary coil, right? Similarly, if the tap key is open, if the tap key is open, right, then in this circuit, current starts to decrease from maximum value to zero. But current doesn't drops to zero suddenly. So then the decreasing magnetic flux is forming around this primary coil. The decreasing magnetic flux counters the secondary coil. This decreasing magnetic flux or flux density linking with the secondary coil again induces the EMF in it, right? Hence, induced current is forming in the secondary coil. In this case also, we observe the deflection in the galvanometer. So, what is the conclusion here? Due to the increase of current or the decrease of current in the primary coil, as a result of this, we observe the induced EMF or induced current in the secondary coil, right? So all these things we explained now. So this is the slides. Okay. Now let us see the theory part. The magnetic flux linked with the secondary coil is directly proportional to amount of current flowing through the primary coil. So flux linked with the secondary coil, phi s, I am writing subscript s, that represents flux linked with the secondary coil. It is directly proportional to the current flowing in the primary coil, I suffix subscript p. Then phi s is equal to a constant capital M into IP, where M is the coefficient of mutual induction or mutual inductance of the two coils, right? In this expression, if IP equal to 1 ampere, then phi s is equal to M. So we will define the mutual inductance of the coils. The flux linked with the secondary coil when 1 ampere current is flowing in the primary coil is called as coefficient of mutual induction or mutual inductance of these two coils. But according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the induced EMF in the secondary coil, E subscript S, I am writing ES is equal to minus the d phi by dt, that is negative rate of change of magnetic flux. ES is equal to minus d phi by dt is equal minus d by dt of, but we have phi equal to M into IP, right? So writing M outside minus M dIP by dt. Therefore, we get ES is equal minus capital M dIP by dt. This is the expression for induced EMF due to the mutual induction, right? Induced EMF in the secondary coil due to the mutual induction phenomenon. From this expression, you can define the mutual inductance. How? If dIP by dt equal to 1, that is 1 ampere per second, then the magnitude of ES will be capital. Therefore, the induced EMF in the secondary coil, when the decay of current, the decrease of current in the primary coil is 1 ampere per second, is called as coefficient of mutual induction or mutual inductance of the coils. So that is shown in this slide. The induced EMF produced in the secondary coil when the rate of decrease of current of the primary coil is unity is called as coefficient of mutual induction or mutual inductance of the two coils. What is the difference between self-induction and mutual induction? So with our previous discussion, so we can compare between self-induction and mutual induction. So what is the self-induction? When the current is flowing in the coil is changing, Induced current is produced in the coil itself. Due to the changing of current in the coil, the phenomenon of inducing the current in the coil itself is called as self-induction. Due to the changing of current in the one coil, then the EMF inducing in the nearby coil is called as mutual induction. So that is written here. When the current flowing in a coil is changed, then induced current is produced in another coil which is kept nearby the vicinity of the first coil. This phenomenon is called as mutual induction. Here we take only one coil. Here we take the two coils. Here the current is changing in the same coil. Here EMF also inducing in the same coil. Here current is changing in one coil. Then we get induced EMF in the secondary coil. So here induced current affects the main current flowing in the coil. Here the induced current flows in the other coil. Hence, it doesn't directly affect the main current of primary coil. Okay. So these are the differences between self-induction and mutual induction. Self-inductance is measured in the unit of Henry. Mutual inductance is also measured in the unit of Henry. So coefficient of self-induction, coefficient of mutual induction, both are measured in the units of Henry. SI unit of self-inductance, SI unit of mutual inductance is Henry. Okay. Now, the next concept is mutual inductance of two coils. So for that, you try to understand this figure. Here, we consider a long air core solenoid, which is consisting of a primary coil PP having length L and N1 number of turns, and another coil, secondary coil SS, which is wound on the primary coil. The number of turns in the secondary coil is N2. Okay, we are considering a long air solenoid. So on that, a primary coil having the length L and the number of turns N1. Okay, that is denoted with PP. And the secondary coil SS is also wound over the primary coil, and the number of turns in the secondary coil are N2. Okay. Now, when the current is passed in the primary coil I, the magnetic field intensity on the axis of primary coil is given by, we know, B equal to mu naught Ni formula. Magnetic induction field strength on the axis of solenoid what B equal to mu naught Ni. Here we are writing B equal to mu naught N1I, mu naught N1I, where N1 represents number of turns per unit length of the primary coil. So total number of turns, how much? N1. The length of the primary coil, L. So N1 is equal to capital N1 by L, right? Substituting that, you will get here B equal to mu naught capital N1 by Li. Okay. If A is the cross-sectional area of the secondary coil, then magnetic flux linked with each turn of the secondary would be phi equal to B into A. Okay. How we are writing? The relation between flux and flux density, phi equal to B into A. If there is only one turn, then phi equal to B into A. We are writing B substituted mu naught N1 by L I into A. But actually, the number of turns in the secondary coil, how much? Capital N2. So therefore, the flux linked with the secondary coil is given by phi equal to N2 into this value, mu naught N1 by L I A N2, right? That equal to mu naught N1 N2 I A by L, right? Now, the mutual inductance between two coils is given by phi is equal to mutual inductance coefficient capital M into I, right? Phi equal to Mi, that equals to this one, mu naught N1 N2 IE by L. So comparing this expression, we can write capital M equal mu naught N1 N2 IE by L. This is the expression for mutual inductance of the two coils. What is mu naught here? Permeability of free space. N1, total number of turns in the primary coil, N2 total number of turns in the secondary coil, L is the length of primary coil, okay, length of the solenoid, I current flowing through that primary coil, E cross sectional area of the secondary coil. Now, the next concept is coefficient of magnetic coupling, right? So for this, you consider this figure. Consider here two coils. One is the coil P, the second one is coil Q. Primary coil is connected to the battery through the tap key S. The secondary coil is connected to the galvanometer, right? Primary coil is written here L1, the secondary coil is shown with L2, right? When the tap key is pressed or closed, then current starts to increase in the primary coil. The magnetic flux forming around the primary coil increases with the time. So that flux is linking with the secondary coil Q2, right? So due to the increase of current in the primary coil, then the increasing magnetic flux is linking with the secondary coil. So increased magnetic flux density with the time, the rate of increase of magnetic flux linking with the secondary coil increases. According to the phenomenon of electromagnetic induction, the EMF induces in the secondary coil, hence induced current takes place and galvanometer deflects in the secondary coil, right? The number of turns in the primary coil N1, the number of turns in the secondary coil say N2, the lengths of primary coil L1, the length of the secondary coil L2, right? L1, L2 are lengths of the primary and secondary coil respectively, and N1, N2 are the number of turns in the primary coil and secondary coil respectively. So with the understanding of this figure, let us go for theory part. The coefficient of self-inductance of the coil, current carrying coil, what B equal to mu naught N square A by N. The self-inductance of the solenoid formula we have L equal to mu naught capital N square A by N. Using that formula, we are writing the self-inductance of the primary coil L1 equal to mu naught N1 square capital A by L1. Say equation 1, sir. Then the coefficient of self-inductance of the primary coil Q, secondary coil, not primary, it is secondary coil Q is L2 equal to mu naught N2 square A by L2, equation 2, right? Here the current is changing in the primary coil. The magnetic flux, changing magnetic flux is linking with the secondary coil, right? The magnetic flux linking with the primary coil. The magnetic flux forming about the primary coil, we can write N1 phi1 equal to L1 I1 using the self-induction concept. From that, phi1 equal to what? L1 I1 by N1. That equal to L1 mu naught N1 square A by L1 into I1 by N1. So that gives mu naught N1 A by L1 into I1, equation 3. Okay. But out of this magnetic flux forming around the primary coil, some part of the flux is linking with the secondary coil. Therefore, the magnetic flux linked with the secondary coil due to the current I1 passing through the primary coil is given by phi 21 equal to N2 K1 phi1, where K1 is constant. Phi 21, how we are writing? Flux linked with the secondary coil due to the first coil. Secondary coil is S1. The primary coil is 1. Here 2 represents secondary coil, 1 represents primary coil. The flux linked with the secondary coil due to the first coil. Hence we are writing subscript 21. Phi 21 equal N2 K1 phi 1, where K1 is constant. Okay. Then phi 21 equal mu naught N1 N2 K1 A by L1 I1, equation 4. Okay. But using the concept of mutual induction, if M is the mutual inductance of the two coils, then the magnetic flux associated with the Q is given by phi 21 equal M into I1. I1 is current flowing in the primary coil, then using the concept of mutual induction, we have this formula. According to phi equal to Mi formula, I have written phi to 1 equal Mi1, equation 5. Then equating these two expressions, equation 4 and 5, you can write capital M equal to mu naught N1 N2 K1A by L1, equation 6. Right. Suppose if the current I2 is made to flow through the coil Q instead of Q, just we are reversing. The primary coil is connected to the galvanometer. In the secondary coil, we are connected to the battery. Then if I2 current is flowing in the secondary coil, according to the mutual induction phenomenon, then the increasing current in the secondary coil encounters the primary coil. The increasing magnetic flux in the secondary coil intersects the primary coil, hence EMF induces in the primary coil. So then just we are reversing the case. Then the with flux linked with Q due to the I2 is given by phi 2 equal to L2 I2 by N2 equal to mu naught N2A by L2 into I2, right? So in this out of magnetic flux forming around the secondary coil, only some part of the flux is linking with the primary coil. Okay, then we can write phi 1 2 equal to N1 K2 phi 2. How we are writing 1 2, right? So this is the flux the flux intersecting due to the secondary coil, and the first coil. The flux linking with the primary coil due to the secondary coil. So phi 1 2 equal to N1 K2 phi 2, then phi 1 2 equal to N1 K2 phi 2 equal to mu naught N1 N2 K2 E by L2 I2. This is equation 7. Then the flux associated with the P in terms of mutual inductance, according to the formula phi equal to Mi, we are writing phi 1 2 equal Mi2, equation 8. Comparing equation 7 and 8, we are equating these two. Mi2 equal mu naught N1 N2 K2 capital A by L2 into Y2. Then capital M equal mu naught N1 N2 K2 capital A by L2, equation 9. This is mutual inductance when the battery is connected in the secondary coil and the galvanometer is connected in the primary coil. Due to the change of current in the secondary coil, then we are writing the mutual inductance of these two coils, equation 9. Now let us multiply the equation 6 and 9. Then we get left side m square equal to right side mu naught square n1 square n2 square k1 k2 capital A square by L1 L2. We know that what are k1 k2? K1 k2 are constants. Okay. So squaring both sides, we get m is equal root k1 k2 mu naught n1 n2 capital A by root of L1 L2. This is equation 10. But equation 1 and 2, what we have? Equation 1 L1 equal to mu naught n1 square A by L1, L2 equal mu naught square mu naught n2 square A by L2. From that, multiplying those two equations, we get L1 L2 equal mu naught square n1 square n2 square A square by L1 L2. Again, take the square root both sides, root L1 L2 equal, and right hand side we get mu naught n1 n2 A by root L1 L2, equation 11. Right. Now comparing equation 10 and 11, we write m is equal root k1 k2 root L1 L2, equation 12. So from this, you can write m by root L1 L2. M equal root k1 k2 into root of L1 L2. Then m by, it is capital L1 L2. Okay. M equal root k1 k2 into root of L1 L2. You correct this. This is capital L1 L2, this one. then M by root L1 L2 equal to root K1 K2 that equal to K. So remember here capital M equal root K1 K2. Okay. In the equation 10 what we have, capital M equal root K1 K2 mu naught N1 N2 A by root L1 L2, right? So here we are writing that then root K1 K2 into this is root L1 L2, root L1 L2. Then M by root L1 L2 equal to root K1 K2 that equal to K. So here K equal to root of K1 K2, that is a constant. This constant K is called as a coefficient of magnetic coupling, right? So, so this is the expression for the coupling of magnetic, the coefficient of magnetic coupling of two coils, right? Here K values varies from 0 to 1. K value depends on geometrical shape of the two coils and their relative positions. If K is equal to 1, we say that the coupling is tight, then no leakage of flux. That means what? So whatever the magnetic flux forming around the primary coil, the total flux links with the secondary coil. There is no leakage of flux. The total part of magnetic flux forming around the primary coil links the secondary coil. So that in that case, we say that coupling is tight, then the coupling coefficient K is said to be 1. If K is equal to 0, then there is no coupling between the coils. Then the magnetic flux forming around the primary coil doesn't intersect the secondary coil. If K greater than 0 and K less than 1, that is in between 0 and 1, then we say that optimum coupling. So if the moderate magnetic flux forming due to the primary coil is linking with the secondary coil or vice versa, then K value lies between 0 and 1. We say that this is called optimum coupling. For tight coupling, K is equal to 1. For no coupling, K equal to 0. For optimum coupling, K lies between 0 and 1. Right? So in the present class, the points to be remembered or the summary of this present lecture is, what is the self-induction? This is the property of the coil which opposes the growth or decay of the current in the coil, right? It is inertia of the electrical circuit, right? The magnetic flux linked with the coil due to the change of current is given by N phi equal to L into I, where L is called self-inductance of that coil. It is also known as coefficient of self-induction. In this, if when I equal to 1 ampere, then magnetic flux is equal to L. Hence, the flux linked with the coil when 1 ampere current is flowing through through it is called as coefficient of self-induction. After that, we discussed about the mutual induction. It is the phenomenon of production of induced EMF in a coil due to the changing of current in the secondary coil, which is placed nearby it. Then the flux linked with the secondary coil phi s is equal M into IP, where M is called coefficient of mutual induction or mutual inductance. From this, we can define M. When IP equal to 1, then phi s is equal to M, right? The flux linked with the secondary coil when the current in the primary coil is 1 ampere is called as mutual inductance of the two coils. Okay. The self-inductance of the coil formula L equal mu naught N square capital E by L, general formula. From that, we derived the expression for mutual inductance of the two coil placed near, that is capital M equal mu naught N1 N2 IA by L. Okay. After that, we derived the expression for coefficient of magnetic coupling. Coefficient of magnetic coupling. What is that? Capital M by root L1 L2 equal root K1 K2 equal to K. So K formula root K1 K2 that equal capital M by root L1 L2. In that, capital M stands for mutual inductance of the two coils L1, L2 are the self-inductance of the coils individually. Here we have to notice 3 points. When K equal to 1, we say that coupling is tight, then no leakage of flux. The flux forming around the primary coil totally links with the secondary coil. When K equal to 0, we say that no coupling between the coils, then even single magnetic line of force forming around the primary coil doesn't intersect the secondary coil. If K value lies between 0 and 1, we say that the coupling between the coils is optimum. So here only some part of magnetic flux links will link with the secondary coil. Okay, thank you.